All right, we are live, and this is going to be today. I'm going to cover paid ads, kind of intro to paid ads. If we have time, I'm going to get into a little bit of the nitty gritty with Meta specifically. All right, we are live, and this is going to so basically after this is done being live, I'm going to cut sections out. This is going to become part of my new course, which is covering the sales and marketing side um, of really using high level. Sales and marketing and strategy informs what you do first and how you do it with the tech side. So I think this is a needed addition to what I have to support all of my affiliates. And the first thing I want to show, because we were just talking about it on my group call with everybody, is the AI memory unification that we do. And then I'm going to get into paid ads. So this is only going to take a second. I just want to show you guys how powerful the memory unification is. I've got a client named Victoria, and my team was working with her on a custom integration to a different CRM. And after hours last night, so first off, let me explain memory unification. Basically, every time a call ends in high level, there's a trigger for when the transcript finishes processing. Every time a message comes in from a client, there's a trigger for that. Every time an AI call ends, you can get the transcript and workflow. And the missing part is your Zoom meetings. Fireflies can let you record in-person meetings. You can open up the app and record, and you can also have it automatically join your Zoom meetings. It's in here right now. And when it ends, with a lot of note takers, it's kind of hard to then sync that data to the contact because you have to get the email address of the attendees. And then you got to look them up in high level. So we have a Zapier flow and a workflow that bring that transcript into high level after the call. Now I put the whole transcript in the notes, and then I have it update a customer journey summary field, which is like a very detailed, long field that explains what the goals and what happened on every single call and meeting. The next step, I also have it updating a feedback field that shows the buyer profile using DISC and Myers-Briggs and feedback for the sales rep, like what things they missed and what the buying triggers are for that person. Then I feed both of those fields back into my voice and chat AI prompt so that it knows that every time it's responding to a client. So imagine like when you get off of a meeting, a client asks you a question, and I'm sure most of you guys know like you probably cover every detail on the meeting in most cases, and the AI is going to be able to see that and respond intelligently. You can also that's all tied into Ask AI here. So I can go to summarize a contact, and unlike Fireflies, where it's just querying the video transcripts, if I ask a question here, Ask AI can see every single web page visit, if they paid their invoice on time, if they turned up to their appointments, every single message they sent, every Zoom transcript, everything. So it's a much better resource for your team to catch up on what's needed or to find a missing detail than just a note taker. So I'm going to give you guys one quick example, and then we're going to run into talking about paid ads. And basically, we are having to set up an integration without. So here's the AI responses. And my team reached out and said, "Hey, can you confirm whether these three calendars are the same or are they different? I want to make sure we're aligning everything correctly." Now, keep in mind, the Fireflies had the memory of the meeting my team had with Victoria earlier. We were having her put test events through, and so she clarified, and the AI responded and said, "Okay, well, we need you to put another." If so, create a test event for legacy interview on a contact with email phone so we can verify the sync. She did that and it said, okay, um, can you also make sure it's on your calendar? And so these are things we actually needed her to do. And the AI just knew that and told her, and we got what we needed after hours. And I just think that's incredible that it knew what we needed to do because of similar scenarios that had occurred on the last IT call where we were getting test events for the other calendars. So really, really powerful. And you can see like the field here. This is what I'm talking about. It's got the whole customer journey. So really cool. Doesn't take long to set up, and that's called AI memory unification. And that's why I won the top AI sub account award. More accounts in high level wide out of 2 million businesses went unlimited with my code on AI for this than any other. So I beat 60,000 affiliates. And now we're going to talk about paid ads, which while the AI stuff is cool, AI is not going to go and generate. generate you a calendar that's going to make you six figures or more a month without paid ads. And so I'm going to stop sharing and kind of talk broadly for a while about the different ways of doing paid ads and just about them in general. But like I was saying, I've only seen companies get that big if they have a big call center or they have a big or they're running paid ads and have a call center. Um, so the AI can help you book appointments, but you still need to call them as a person to really figure it out. I'm going to explain why. Um, when people are first starting paid ads, a lot of them want to do webinars so that they don't have to call their leads in this autopilot. A lot of big coaches will tell you to go and do webinars. Um, in my experience, if you, there's a couple things that make that webinar work, and you can't get there without the information you get from calling your leads. So when you first start, um, usually I like to do just a Facebook lead form so that you're getting the person to come through without them having to go through your funnel. Once you take them from the ad to your funnel, you're kind of assuming that you got the person you want from your ad, and you're hoping they follow this process based on your assumption that you're getting the right people from the ad, right? Well, what if these people are just not the right people at all because your ad's sending the wrong type of people here? And you didn't get their phone and email because you didn't do a Facebook lead form. Well, you're never going to know why they're not booking and you can't really find out. So, or not opting in. So I always say to keep it simple, do Facebook ads first. And there are exceptions, right? Some industries I wouldn't recommend paid ads. Some industries I wouldn't recommend doing them on Facebook, if even if I would say paid ads. But in most cases, this is the place where you're going to get the cheapest leads, and the lead form works great. If you don't call the hell out of those leads like seven times each over the next 30 days, and even if they say not interested, if you don't fight to find out why they're not interested, you'll never understand what you need to do to change your ad to get somebody through that's the right type of customer. Only when you get the right types of customer through could you possibly start to send them to a webinar that, and you guess what? You get the messaging that works on the customer that's coming through as an organic process. And if you're trying to change a funnel every time you change your pitch or try to adapt to the people that are coming through or try to change your angle, it will take so long. It has to be an organic human process. And trust me, you don't want to be updating an AI agent to try to handle those calls every time you're pivoting. So all that learning that's occurring. And when I'm setting up ads for my clients, I'm like, I need you to call these things. Now I usually just have a VA call them for them. And every morning meeting, I'm in the same way I do with a client. I'm like, hey, what were the reasons they told you that they weren't interested? Are you getting, and then I'm going to look at their call. Are they really even getting the truth out of these people? um, in that feedback process, we want to revise that ad. Like, if it's been running a couple weeks, then we have some good feedback, it's time to revise. So you want to keep revising it until you know what you're getting through. So let's say now you know who you're getting, you're able to pitch and close them. If you tried to automate it and send them straight to a webinar, I'm telling you, the reason these coaches can do that is because they have massive credibility. You have to have a social buying factor, tons of testimonials, like big brands saying they use you. That's what makes people close without knowing you. It's like a social proof kind of thing. And I think that you have to get there before you can send somebody straight to a funnel or to your AI and have them close on your own. Um, so I recommend starting with Facebook and then learning how to do it. I think I am going to make this one more about Facebook and talk about Google Ads and in a different one and some of the other options because I really do think this is in most cases where you should start. And now I'm going to give a little context about my experience running ads and um, and I'm going to get even into the nitty gritty of how I think a campaign should be set up. I talked a little bit about that, um, but um, the company I scaled ads the highest with of my own was my credit repair and business funding company. We started, I'm going to tell a story that's going to probably give you guys some ideas in your own industries. We started running ads for credit repair, and the deal was I got 50% of the company for putting money into ads, setting up the high level system, and managing all of that. And my partner, he would close the sales and manage the team that would eventually help him and the appointment setters. So I put in 10 grand into the company. I think I put, and that was the appointment setters and the ads. And that was the last money we put into that company. It took about, and I didn't depend on the income from that company. I had income from my other company. So it wasn't like I had to spend it for my rent and stuff like that. Otherwise, that 10K putting in probably wouldn't have been enough. But we scaled it up to 50 grand a month in ads, and we had 60 appointment setters and closers in the Philippines with no more investment than that first time. We kept on pivoting. I'd say the real breakthrough was when we realized that we had to tweak the ads again. We weren't quite getting enough ROI, and these people just were not serious about credit repair. So we started running ads for business funding. We got, instead of credit repair people, we got entrepreneurs who had a serious drive and they really cared about fixing their credit for in a different category from where your standard consumer would be. And so when we started doing that, we got way more credit repair deals from those leads than we did from the credit repair ads and the cheaper lead cost. I think we got it down to like 10-ish to $7 to $10 per lead. And that company is still, cooking it. It's six figures a month. I sold it to my partner um, because he wanted me to come and help with the sales, basically. And I was like, I can't do that and manage my company. But that's the story of kind of how we figured that out. And, learning the right angle on the ads and continuing to tweak, you got to be ready to stick that out for the long haul. I think the best thing for me to do now, well, I'm gonna open it up. If you guys have any questions or commentary, we can talk about. I can answer some questions, and then I think I'll jump into actually my ad account and show you guys like how I set up a campaign, what you do at the campaign level, what you do at the ad set level in the ad, like how I break it up, how much I start spending, and I'm gonna talk about the conversions API and the Andromeda update, which are the two main things that most ad agencies aren't paying attention to. But first, let's open up for some questions because I did say a lot, and I'd love to. I'm sure maybe I was confusing at some parts. Anybody got
Yeah,
anything
Rob.
for me? Colin, what's up?
Yeah, that was good. I guess it is coming down to the new changes with Facebook. It
Hmm.
seems really confusing, even though they say it's easier. I'd really like to understand that a lot better. It's getting to the point where the cost of ads is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's easier. Some of these, it is definitely requires like way more creative, way more work to make it work right. And it's because it's maturing in the same way that Google Ads did. Um,
And are you finding those programs out there? Like there's ones called Predis and Creative AI that can create the ads for you. Are their ads any good? Do they
you know
save
what?
you time,
I, I
or
have
is it
a I have a tool
really better to do
saved.
it?
It may be Pretis that I'm thinking of. I haven't really experimented with these like bulk UGC creation tools, but that does tie into part of what I'm going to say. I'm going to explain what Andromeda is looking for and what you need to do. And my most of my clients that are running ads, we still haven't done like 1,000 different creatives. You kind of wait to do that until you at least find, I'd say, some product market fit. So you kind of have to eat that little higher lead cost, I'd say, unless you want to make 1,000 videos every time you pivot. And if you get too entrenched in one angle in the beginning, how are you gonna pivot as fast as you need to? So I think you still wait until you really get down your offer, and that's when you can take it. That's when you have to make the big lift for Andromeda. And I'll explain a little in a lot more detail too as we go. Did you have any other specific questions about what I already covered?
No, that was good. No.
Okay. So, and Mark, I see your question. It should have the thing that stops the bot from responding to that first message. Oh, the spam and bots. Yeah, you do get a lot of spam from Facebook Messenger and stuff like that, and you can create a workflow that'll stop it. Mark, if you need one, just let my team know. Basically, it's just a message received, and it'll look at the content of the message, and the AI can determine if it's spam or not, mark it red, or delete it. It's a pretty easy workflow to set up. We can set up for you. In terms of fake clicks, there's a tool called Click Cease you can use, but I haven't really had too much of a problem with that. If you're getting a lot of like totally bad leads, then Click Cease would be something to look at. So I guess I'll talk in general about the conversions API and Andromeda first, and then I'll show a setup that my last ad campaign I ran. But like I said, I think the reason I like the lead form and keeping it simple in the beginning, you need to make sure you're getting somewhat of the right type of people through the ad first, that you got your angle and your offer right, and then and you want to be as quick to pivot as possible in that testing phase until you hit even if you close a deal for the same thing that you made on it. Like once you're at least breaking even, then it's like, okay, this could work, and that's when you do the big lift. So the thing that came out maybe a year or two ago is the conversions API. Um, and what that does, like Meta, the first thing that happens when somebody sees your ad is that they either look at it or they stop looking at it. Sometimes they might touch it or click learn more or click like see more details where it just expands. So all those little engagement signals are the first thing that Meta is going to use to try to target the right type of person. You don't, so like the first thing that you change, if you're getting the wrong type of people, shouldn't be adding another question in your form. You should be tweaking the creative so that you're not even getting that wrong person to the form. You essentially pay as soon as they see it. Every time there's an impression and somebody is shown, you paid. So by that point, you may as well get their number. If you already paid for them to see it, you're gonna have better ROI over time if you just get their phone number. So I think it's kind of pointless to tweak on that lead form. Get them all, and then educate them and convert them into the right buyer type over time. But really, you don't want to get them in your system at all. You want Meta to know they're the wrong type of person. So it's super important. And people always want to, with the ad, they come from the sales perspective where, like I said, you drill everyone on the phone to figure out why they're not interested and you try to resolve their issue. That's how you find out how you change the ad to stop from talking to that person again. So from sales, you need to try to get everyone. From marketing, you don't want to have something that everybody wants to click. Whatever the type of person you don't want is the most important thing you're focusing on your ad. So if you want people that have over 1 million in revenue or over a certain net worth or a credit score over a certain amount, you basically need to find like if there's one thing you could say where if it's this thing's true, then everybody that is true for it would be a good candidate. You want to go for that so that it's like so they don't have to read a whole list and decide if they qualify. But you want to say like if you know that people making 50K a month in their business would qualify, then say if you're making over 75K a month, then you may qualify for XYZ. So the biggest thing you want to say is the qualifier. And then you want to have and you want it to be as simple as possible in as few words as possible, qualify and set your limit high. You're still going to get people that don't quite meet the requirement, but if you set it high, you're going to start in a better place and then have a really, appealing offer. And the things that Dimitri was talking about doing, where you say, hey, if you can't reach X, Y result in, then you get your money back. That's the second part. The first part needs to be if you're a business doing over 20K, then you qualify for our free local program where if we don't get you ranked in the first XYZ, you get your money back. Now that is the right offer. And you want to set that bar high so that as soon as the person that's not qualified sees it, they scroll. One thing that works even better is a video because then they can see how long they looked, and that actually tells information. If you say in the very beginning, first 3 seconds should be your hook and your qualification. So if your business is a brick and mortar, like that's something you can say where you know they're a serious business owner. If you're a brick and mortar and you're doing over XYZ, then I can help you get first page or you don't pay. Short and simple. And hopefully anybody that isn't qualified scrolled before I even got to what I'm offering. They just heard that they weren't qualified. That tells Meta the fastest which type of people are watching. And we all know, like you say something and Meta shows you everything related to it. And that's exactly how it works. The AI is gonna optimize really, really well on your right type of person if you make sure that nobody would ever watch it that's not the right type of person. Um, so it's a feedback loop of optimizing that and keeping it so that they're pushed away as early in the funnel as possible. It's better to have a more expensive lead if they're qualified than to pay down the funnel where you have to pay somebody to call it 7 times to figure out why they weren't qualified, etc. It's much more expensive to filter out further down in the funnel. Um, so that tells you who's looking in the window, right? All those engagement triggers that are happening when they're first looking at the ad that Meta can see. It's basically like having a camera outside the front of your store, and Meta's looking and saying, "Oh, they stopped for a second. They walked right by. They clicked like." But what's really important is who are the people inside your store that are actually looking through the racks. And that's like who's visiting your website pages, who's watching videos, stuff like that. Now, we all know the Facebook Pixel can see who's visiting your website and who submits a form. But there is a lot more data that's going on in there. Every time an appointment's booked, Every time and you can still use a pixel for that, but if somebody sends you a text, or if they watch a video to a certain percentage, you can set up all these triggers inside high level, and that's the conversions API, where you're sending stuff back to Meta. So the Andromeda update allows AI to analyze your customer journey and which pieces of content different types of people have to engage with to close. This requires a massive lift, not only on the tech side, but on the creative side too. So once you know you're getting the right types of people in there, if you want to supercharge Meta, Meta's AI can now say, oh, this person who has these interests, well, they only need to see this video, and then I can send them right to checkout. So it kind of replaces the funnel. The AI learns which types of people to show which pieces of your content. So you take every single piece of content. First off, well, now that you know you're getting the right people through your funnel from calling them, you start to learn what these types of people need to hear. And maybe a year or two later, you know exactly what they need to hear, what potential hurdles they have. And that's where this manual part has to happen. If you try to have AI or webinars do it, it never happens. Now you start building your webinars and your videos, and you put all your videos from the first thing you say to someone all the way through all the potential objections from each different customer avatar, the whole thing, and even your checkout pages, everything like that. So you've got everything from top to bottom. Now Meta can start to serve it in a more advanced way. Um, but you have to tell it which pieces of content are which pieces of content. So you have one ad that triggers you have to make custom events in the conversions API. Now you can't do that through high levels ad manager. You can do the standard events. And even in high levels conversion API setup outside, like the workflow version, not just the manager version, you're limited to there's like 17 actions. There's like a watch video action, but there's not they watched my um, video that explains this objection. And so what you have to do is you map all of your ads and you have the same event name for the same event for them watching the same video in your funnel and and the ad, right? The ad itself. And so now you're informing Meta about which types of content each person's watching, whether it's happening on the ad or on your website, and it can start to serve it in the right order for that type of person. There's one thing that I'm realizing I'm kind of forgetting. What was it? Oh, so the only way to set up a custom event, you have to use Zapier. The only reasonable way, you have to use Zapier, and there's a way to configure a custom event in Zapier to send to high level. So my conversions API workflow looks like this. And we always set up conversions API for everybody too, by the way. But then, as I say, it takes you getting to a certain point before it makes sense to do the big lift. So it's got every single trigger in high level, and then I've got all these different conversions events, all firing back to Meta. Um, you can set a value, so you can show Meta which things are more important and which things, what they're worth. Basically, you'll take what your revenue is from a sale, and you say, okay, well, if I need 20 leads to get a sale, then the value of the lead is this. So you can reverse engineer it for Meta. And then if we're doing custom events, we have one thing here for events that are for that specific custom event, and we would trigger a webhook to Zapier. In Zapier, you can configure a custom event, and that's the only way to get anything besides these options. So you guys can now imagine like how much work this is, right? To have all of your content from top to bottom labeled, and then you actually have to set it up in the events manager in Facebook too, and tell it what this event is. And now you can use that event. Once it's set up, it's set up. But as you can see, you need to wait until you know that you're talking to the right people, right? Before you make all this content for helping that type of person through. Um, so once you have that set up, that's the basics. And you can move on to Andromeda and making all the videos. And that's the easiest way to pair them up. We've got a video that shows how to set up these custom events in Zapier. But I imagine for most people, you need to get a little further down into your paid ads journey and learning process to even really be capable of doing all that. But big companies are able to jump out and do all this right now because they've laid the groundwork to know the people that they're talking to and stuff like that. So now I'm going to show you how I set up a campaign, but I'm going to open up the floor for any questions about Conversions API and Andromeda. I guess the last thing I'll say is there are tools where you can put in your offer and it'll find your competitors, see their angles, and it'll help you recreate all like, 100 or more videos that are also hitting every single objection and every single top, from top to bottom of funnel for your process. But I know how if you guys have played with that AI as much as I have, when you give it a big general task like that, the hurdles that it's going to come up with, they might look good to the untrained eye, but to that business owner who's actually been speaking to those customers, it's not going to be close. This is going to require you putting your heart and your wallet into it, fellas and ladies. Um, but you'll get there. And you don't have to be extremely profitable to make a profit. You just need to call your dang leads, I'm telling you. If you call your leads, you'll make a profit, or you'll at least be able to break even on the paid channel until you get it figured out. Um, so any questions on Andromeda and Meta before I go into my ads manager and show you how I set up a campaign? Well, sweet. So there are some things you need to know if you're setting up a campaign, even if you're setting up for, so I'm going to go to this campaign. Um, I always start with auction and leads objective. This can get kind of confusing because you might be like, um, let me read real quick. Because you can only use the instant lead form on the leads objective, but you want to use the conversions API. So there's a certain way that I set that up. And it took me a while to figure that out. So that's why I wanted to really pin that for you guys. But I do campaign, leads objective, and you can do ad set budget or campaign budget. Now what that means is the campaign budget is going to optimize for the best converting. um it'll put the spin towards whichever ad set's performing the best. If you're really wanting to give it a solid test, sometimes I force it to go on the ad set budget so that if I force it to spin so it really does learn properly on each one before I switch it to auto spending on each one. So I like to start with ad set budget, especially if there's a couple angles I really want to try. Special ad categories, that's going to come down to like if you're like talking about financial products and stuff, and those all have their own rules. Um, the way that part's pretty straightforward. This doesn't take long, but once I get to ad set and ads, okay, the thing I was going to say actually more applies to just the ads. So ad set campaign, it's where it's really one offer and then one, or really kind of like one objective, right? You want them to, um, I want to get clients for my a certain, yeah, I guess let's say offer. I think that's the best way to say it. One offer for your business. So I wouldn't use the same campaign to get business owners who don't know what high level is to get people for my white label agency services. I divide that out so that it's not training on the wrong type of people for the campaign. Even though there is some ability for an ad set to target a different group than another ad set, you want to keep it in general kind of along the same lines. So campaign, I would keep to an offer. Ad set is where we're going to test out different targeting methods. Now, with an ad set, you can't train it well enough to optimize with really less than $50 a day. I think you need like 40 conversions over a 7-day period to exit the learning phase. So if you're less than that, you're never going to exit learning in most cases. So I generally start with one ad set and maybe two or three creatives. So you're going to do 50 a day, one ad set, and on the ad set level, that's where you do instant forms. Like I said, it's super important. You're just talking to these people at first. I don't do the text message for confirmation. There is a way where you can have them required to send a text before they're able to opt in. Um, you'll find more people just bounce off the page that would have submitted and they had the right number in there anyway. The lead form is going to pre-fill with the phone and email that they use to log into Facebook. So unless they go and change it, it's probably their real number. And you'll lose more people by trying to require them to authorize. You'll lose more good numbers by trying to have them authorize and approve it than you will if you just roll right through. And dang, I've been going longer than usual. We might have to pause this I think I got a meeting in 4 minutes, but I should be able to get through this. So here is where you choose to take into account the conversions API. If you just do leads here, a maximum number of leads, it's not going to look at the values in the conversions API. But if you do conversion leads, that's who let try to deliver your ads to get you the most here. Where's the better description? So most leads, show your ads to people most likely to share their contact info. No, I want to share my ads to people most likely to convert after sharing their contact info. Now you're bringing in the conversions API. Um, okay, daily budget 50, age range, you're going to customize that for whoever you're dealing with. And then here I was using lookalike audiences. And like I was saying, you might try interests. In general, it's best to go broad. Okay, I'm going to say that in general. Maybe broad with one interest. And that's usually how I start, unless I have a really good lookalike audience. Um, and that could be past people that looked at your ad before. That could be a list you have that you got from any lead provider. Um, but this is where you test your targeting method. And in general, I'd probably try a lookalike audience plus a broad. Maybe with if it's a B2B offer, maybe with just business owner is the only interest. I always turn on Advantage Plus. That's super important these days. That's the AI aspect of it, pretty much. Now, when you get down to your ad, the way that we do this is I pretty much take all the info about what I'm trying to do, and I'm going to ask ChatGPT to generate all this stuff, and I'm going to tweak it. So, you need headlines, you need titles. If you just say, hey, ChatGPT, this is what I want to create an ad for, and this is my offer, and I need all of the metadata to help set up the ads campaign, it'll spit it out for you. You can revise it, but you need to have the frameworks I just gave you to do that properly. So, um, when I do this with clients, we do an onboarding form, and then 2 days later, we have the document that has all their creatives and every single headline. We revise it together, and then my team copies and pastes it in. Um, Lead forms, notes on lead forms. Only do name, phone, email. Otherwise, you're going to lose leads. Don't ask other questions. You need to find out who's hitting that, who's giving you their info. And there is an option where with no for no extra money, when you set up the lead form, you can set it to also send a Facebook message at the same time as you get their name, phone, email with no more clicks. I always do that, and then I have my AI respond over Messenger in case they give me bogus info. Maybe one day they're going to check their messages and see the booking link I dropped for them, and that does happen. Because if anything, it is their real Facebook account. Oh, what is this? This is kind of new. Oh, all right. Well, that's something new. That's pretty cool. It looks like there's more auto follow-up options than there used to be. But guys, that's pretty much front to back it. I've got my next, and you want to check these CRM events that should be checked. I haven't, this is an old campaign. You definitely want to track. If you do both, you end up getting duplicates. I do everything through the API. You can send everything back because high level can trigger uh, the conversions API for any page visits. So there's really no need for the pixel. Um, Sometimes I have both going, but I don't check both boxes on the ad. So that helps Facebook with the matching to make sure it's working well for the conversions API, but you don't want to have both actually tracking or you'll get double counted. And guys, that's what I got for you. Does anybody else have any questions before I bounce? And then I'll be back Thursday and we'll do part two. Well, nope, I'm off Thursday. It's another important note for everybody. Yeah. I hope that was really helpful. I totally brain dumped, and I think I covered a lot of really important things and philosophy about how you can get this working properly. The one thing that I may not have hammered on enough is make sure you just hire an appointment setter if you're not going to call your leads. A VA, I'll staff one for you, manage them. I'll write the cold call, the appointment setting script, and I'll make a video of me setting and manage them for $1,000 a month. So don't let $1,000 come in between you and I mean it's a 40-hour a week job. Basically, you need a full-time person for every 500 leads you're getting a month. For them to work 40 hours and be able to call them all 7 times. So you can hire somebody to do it for you, but as you guys can imagine, I'm pretty good at training an appointment setter, and it's a steal to have somebody else manage it. And one of the most annoying parts of running a business is managing your appointment setters. It never stops. You always have to retrain somebody. They quit. You got to train them again. It never ends. And that's, but that's why it helps. It's a good thing to offer because it keeps my clients with me. But guys, that's what I got for you. I'm gonna end this because I've got my team and my client in the waiting room, and I hope that was helpful. If anybody wants to meet with me, reply to the text that you came in here from. It can book you if you didn't get the link in the chat. If you want my supercharged AI snapshot, free done for you hours for every 97 you're spending with high level, then go up to the link in the bio if you're watching this live, join the community, and yeah, I'll get in touch with you and we can get going. Thank you, Michelle. I feel like you might be ready to say
Thanks,
something. I
Rob.
appreciate you.
Thanks, Rob.
No problem, guys. Hope you'll have a great Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. See you,
Merry
mate.
Christmas.
Bye.
Bye, guys. All right. I'm coming hot off a group call, Victoria. There we go. Everybody.
Cannot figure out how to transfer. Um, you guys keep sending it to my cell phone, the links.
Okay. Oh
Cannot
yeah,
figure out
it should
how.
be in your email too, Victoria. It automatically. Oh, the team probably. You're right. The team probably did do it that way. Can you guys send it to her email?
Oh, hold on. There's something here. Maybe. Um. Okay. Someone just sent it.
All right. I know. Did you guys get an answer from Victoria about the multiple contacts thing yet?
It's a Zoom link that you guys sent me. Are we doing Zoom?
If it's yeah, actually, it should be in your email already. Now that I remember we're on Zoom and not Google Meet. Let me check real quick.
Oh, well, I'm joining the Zoom.
Oh, you got it. Okay, cool. There we go. I see you. All right. So Victoria, the team was telling me what they're seeing. We did figure out how to see the contacts, but there are like six of them on some events. And I don't know if that's accurate, and we need to make sure all of them get reminders, or if we need to somehow pick one of them. Do you know maybe we need to look at the events you sent, or that we have on our end to determine that. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay. So Avi, if you can pull up the event in question that had six attendees and help us backtrack which event this was so she can confirm if all of them need to get reminders or just one of them. And Victoria, we
Tanvir,
have
can
a
you
workaround for this if it's just one of them, but we need to figure this out before we can apply the workaround.
Tanvir, can you share your screen?
And while you get that pulled up, I'm gonna grab coffee. I just came off a 2-hour session, guys. Forgive me.
Yeah, sure. Um, Before that, I want you to do one thing, Victoria. Um, can you book a test meeting on your end in my case? Can you hear me?
Sorry, I didn't realize that I'm muted. I can hear you.
Yeah. So I want you to book an appointment in my case for the 15-minute booking call, and so that I can test run on my end on GHL.
Okay, in the same lead that I have, test one folder.
Just any dummy or appointment for the test out.
Okay.
You have the Outlook calendar connected, right? On my case.
I cannot hear you. What did you say?
He said,
Your
did you have the Outlook calendar connected on my case?
Yes.
Okay.
all right.
That's probably.
Victoria, I'm going to try to explain the exact issue that we're trying to resolve again, just so you're on the same page with us. The test events that we got last night, they did have contacts associated that we could find now, but they had six. One of them had six different people attached. And so we don't know if everybody should get reminders or if one. So we got to figure that out. And then we know what we know.
Do we see what are those 6 people? Do we see names? Are those staff
No,
members?
We get
we just
contact ID.
get contact IDs.
Yeah. And so we're gonna look just follow along with Tanvir. He's gonna help us figure this out. But I wanted you to understand what we're working on, you know?
Yeah.
It's just harder with us. It just requires us meeting more and it takes a little longer without us getting in there. Um, I don't know if it's possible for you to create access for us with limited permissions to where we can only see like one or two contacts or something like that.
Um, I mean, it's possible it's gonna cost me like hundred and
Oh, yeah,
thirty
don't worry about it.
dollars.
We can get it
Uh,
done. I forgot about
but
that part.
if it's too much of a headache, otherwise I will create one.
We could probably finish this by tomorrow if we had access, but it probably won't take us. Hopefully, once we get this done, this is the last thing we'll run into. But this just requires us to get back with you and, figure out what we're seeing. Um, all right. So Tanvir, I'll let
So
you take over speaking. So, because you're,
if you look at I don't know why it's showing like that, but if you look at the contact I had created, it's only one contact. You see, it's lead details. There's no one else, so it shouldn't be more than one. You see?
Also, another question is, as we have on our end on Zapier, there's two trigger. One is a person added or updated, and another one is lead added or updated. So, how do you define these two?
she doesn't
Like,
use a
uh,
lead. A lead
uh-huh,
creates a company and a person, or just a
mhm.
person if there's no company.
Mm,
So we really just need to use the lead one, guys.
yeah.
She doesn't ever create a person without creating a lead.
Okay.
So it looks like there's only one contact in here, but is this the appointment that you were looking at, Tanvir? Or could it be a different
Um,
appointment that had the six?
um, it could be like it shows every people that's going to be attending the meeting. It's hard to tell which one is lead. Uh,
What was the time of the appointment that had six people?
this one, which oh, it's in this one.
Oh my
Uh,
Yeah, it's the old data.
So edit, I only attached myself to attend. I haven't attached my assistant, and I haven't even attached the lead to invite.
What the heck? Can
It's the
we
old,
go ahead, Tanvir? I think you'd probably know about how to help better right now.
it was an old data, so
So what was the time of the event that's in question that has the six,
mhm.
the date, and the we can look at it.
I have those are the 3 events that I created.
This
I think,
one, yes.
hey, Victoria, maybe this is easier. Do you have lots of meetings where there's multiple attendees in real life?
Not a lot. Usually
Okay.
it's like the potential clients, which is usually 1 to 2.
Okay.
And me and generally it's me or my assistant.
Okay. Well, Tanvir, are you able to see what the date of that appointment was? I'm assuming you're looking for it right now. I can't see your screen. There we go.
Honestly,
This one,
whoever, I only care that those guys, the lead receives the notifications.
mhm.
So this
Uh,
one was, we need to look at the start date. It was for, this is 2023.
yeah, yeah,
I don't
that's
know
the
why this is
old
even in
data.
here.
So yeah,
So did
if
the other tests we got, Tanvir, none of them had more than one contact?
all of them had multiple, like
Okay.
if we go along with this one, we test. Yeah, this one also got 6.
All of them had
Um,
6.
mhm.
And
If she
what
could do a test uh, event, I could get a fresh data and look at that.
I
all
just
right.
did it. Okay, you want me to do another one? Here you go.
Which are we using the client's email to search for, or how are we searching for the to find the case, guys? Are we searching by the time of the event or what?
No. Whenever she opens a new event, this trigger got,
Mm-hmm.
and this one gets the appointment ID
Okay.
or the event ID, and using the event ID, I can search for the case, and in the case I got how many contacts are related to the case.
Go up, go up, go up, go up, go up,
Roll
go up.
up. Didn't it have their name right there? Garcia?
You somehow you're seeing, oh, those are closed cases.
Okay.
Yeah, these are
So
all
yeah,
data.
so the identifier must be pulling the wrong information, I would think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
unless we
employment. Yeah, that's not.
All
yeah.
right. So is there any other thing we can use besides the event ID or no?
Uh, there's a way, if she could create a contact field under the lead, and we could pull by there.
Okay.
Here we can trigger lead updated, and whenever she updates that custom field, it could be Boolean like true, and this one updates the contact in GHL.
Couldn't we just add that to every contact and automatically have it selected? Because I don't see a situation where she wouldn't want that. I don't see any situation where it would ever be
Mhm.
false. You know what I mean?
Um, it's like in the GHL contact, like we had a Boolean custom field, and whenever we trigger it to true, it will trigger this workflow and create the contact in Y level. Sorry.
Okay. Well, wouldn't it is that going to allow us to search to like get the event triggers though?
Yeah.
Um,
That the
why wouldn't we just turn that on for every single contact?
Yeah, for that, she has to create a custom field in under the lead.
Okay. So what if we created that for, can we make an automation? Can she make an automation in my case that automatically sets that true for any new lead?
No, she has to manually trigger that, like update the contact field.
But can you tell me whether I'm not understanding what I need to do?
Um,
Or-
I'm kind of still talking to them, trying to work through the best way to do this,
Mhm.
Victoria.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
then once I am on the same page with them, and I was earlier, but now I'm still kind of I'm struggling to feel like there's not a better way. And Tanvir, you may be totally right. I just want to make sure that I fully am on the same
Mhm.
agreement. So what I don't understand is why we can't have an automation that for every contact it's true. And is it because we're checking to see like, yeah, I just don't understand um why we wouldn't
Mhm.
want it to be true for everybody. Because we want the whole system synced up.
Um,
Yes, and a half. I need one.
she has to like we don't have the access to her my case, so we
Yeah.
cannot create the custom field there.
I was
And
saying
the
we can have
Mhm.
her create it, and I think
Yes.
she can create an automation in my
Thank
case
you, Ben.
to set it true for everybody.
No, I'm not sure if there's a way to create automation there. I
Victoria,
have to look at.
can't you do automations and workflows in my case too?
I think so.
let's go and check that out. I think that might be our solution here.
Tell me what kind of automation you want me to create
The
or
first thing,
workflow.
the first thing we want to create is a custom field. So Tanvir, let's go to her screen and see if we can help build an automation.
Sure.
If you can share your screen, Victoria. So I'm also gonna ask ChatGPT real quick so that can help us a little bit. In my case, I need to create a custom field and automatically set it to true for every lead. We can say automatically for every new lead. I imagine she doesn't need to bring all the old stuff. Do you want to sync up all your old stuff too, or just new stuff, Victoria?
It's okay if we just do the new stuff. I'm all right with that.
Let's just see. Need to set up this field and automation. In my case, is there a way to create and auto update this field there? Give it a web search. Well, I'm just going to tell it go. All right, give me 1 second and I can help us be a little more efficient with this.
Hi.
Hang on. Almost there. All right.
If you could go to your settings on
Yeah,
the top right.
let him guide you. Settings in the top right, you said?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm in
on the
settings.
here in the custom fields
Oh,
under
there's this
general.
custom fields.
Yeah.
All right. Add a custom field. And name it
Select
high level transfer, as we can call it that, right?
mhm,
So
right.
call it high level transfer. And then for type, let's see what the options are. Single select, is that right? Or yes?
Yes, no.
Okay.
Yes, no?
Yep, click on
Yes.
that. And then, yeah, probably yes.
No, because okay. Because all the automations that you do, you only do for estate planning, so I
Okay.
don't need it.
Okay.
All right, we'll add custom field. And now let's go to workflows. Add workflow. High level transfer. Oh, create lead entry. Yeah, I think add workflow. I'm not sure if this is like the equivalent of pipeline or if this is an automation.
Um,
I think this is kind of like a pipeline.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this is automation.
Okay. Yeah, you can delete that, Victoria. That's not the same thing we were hoping it was. So here, I think is what we're going to have to do. Let me go back and make sure it said they couldn't do it. Type true, false.
I don't think they can do much
Yeah.
automation here.
All right. So what we're gonna need to do, well, guys, in Zapier, would it be possible now every time a lead is created to automatically update this custom field inside of Zapier?
Let me check that.
That should, maybe. I don't want you to have to do anything manual for the transfer, Victoria, and that's what we're trying to avoid here.
Mhm.
Basically, this field being present is going to allow us to detect which contact it is that we're trying to reach.
I don't know, maybe it's gonna be something, because what if, for example, I have sometimes leads but with more than one contact?
That might be why it happened, but we're going to make it where any new lead created is tagged like this. And basically, guys, tell me if I'm wrong, but what we're planning on doing is all the contact IDs that we got, we're going to see which one has true selected. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it'll definitely work better if it's just new cases, because we saw for some reason it's pulling back all those old cases, even though it's the same event number, which I can't explain. Um, and we can put in a ticket to my case in Zapier about that. But it's better if we don't have to wait for them. They may not help us. So just give Tanvir a second here. My head hurts. I need to grab a little food real quick. I haven't eaten enough while he's working on that. Give me one second. Should just take him another minute or two, and then
All
hopefully
right.
this works. We'll create a new lead, and we'll see if we're able to identify the proper contact this time.
Yep.
Mm. Oof. How's the whole family doing, Victoria?
Oh, it's been a rough day today. The
Mm.
kids are home and going crazy, and
So they're not sick anymore?
no, they're not. And then I'm pretty upset today, so if I look a little bit weird,
Oh,
it's just my husband's uncle, I saw him spanking my daughter, and I blew up on that, which is
yeah.
absolutely unacceptable to me, and I got in fight with my husband, so I'm not in good mood
Yes.
today. I'm really not.
I remember a couple times where like my aunt stepped over into my mother's territory and stuff like that, and I saw similar things. This is very normal, and then I know you know that. Um, but I think we're really close to having this figured out, and I'm happy for that. So hopefully that can give us some good news. If this, whether or not, well, I wish I could explain why it's pulling those old cases. I really hope this works because I'm sure we'll think of a solution, but I'm gonna have to get creative to see what we do after if this doesn't work. If it doesn't, it may be the time for us to look at getting another seat so that we can troubleshoot more. But I guess it'd
I'm
probably be
not
good.
understanding what you're.
Okay, don't worry. Don't worry. Mm.
Yeah, for me, ideally, it was like, okay, we create a lead. As soon as someone is here, we start the 15-minute call. Then lead usually not when it's here, but if we put it, like let's say I move the lead here, it will start the life and legacy planning session workflow.
Mhm.
Obviously, if it's rescheduled, we'll start something. So that was my idea when I reached out to you to kind of work. So I don't know if that's not gonna be an option or what, but yeah. And here,
Uh,
We can get an update status when you move columns like that. Um, you know, Tanvir, what if she just moved it to the booked column? Well, the reminders that go out to clients need to tell them when the appointment is, unless you want to keep that coming out from your current system, which you could.
um,
Say again.
oh, the reminders can come from here, but I cannot customize them the way are there.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what I'm doing the.
I guess worst case scenario is that you let the reminders come out of this system, but we can still update the pipeline stages and do other types of nurtures and follow-ups in high level based on the stage. Because we're getting the status. Do you know what I mean by that? There. Okay, yeah. Oh, I'm trying to explain. But I basically from what you just said, I've thought of the next workaround that we will try if this doesn't work. We can use pipeline stages instead of and we'll just forget about the event reminders. But we'll see. We'll see what we can do.
I have a question. Victor, did you book an appointment for the test?
Say that again.
Uh, I want her to book an appointment for the test.
For a new lead, right?
Yeah.
All right. Create a new lead and book an appointment for us, Victoria.
Create a new lead, so delete that one.
Uh,
You could just, it doesn't have to be your name. It could be my name.
yeah, yeah. For the 15-minute, so can you see this appointment on your Outlook? Can you check? Hmm.
No, I don't.
I think I
Oh,
see Rob. Oh, that's the one we're on right now.
not that one.
When
Hmm.
did you book it for?
Oh, I'm looking the wrong one. Goodness. It's 1 o'clock. So it should be showing, but oh, here you go.
Okay.
Okay. So let me check on the GHO end. Uh, what date is that?
Today at 1 o'clock. Is that right? 1 o'clock
Yeah.
Pacific, so 4 p.m. Eastern.
It should be coming up here, but it's not showing here. We have tried the two-way sync, but it's not showing up.
Oh,
We
there it
wanted to
is.
try if those appointment showed up in the GHL and we could pull the contacts in the GHL from that.
For syncing, are you using, tell me how you have your email set up, Victoria. Do you have a Microsoft 365 package, or do you just have email through like domain.com?
I have Microsoft 365.
Okay. Asif got for this is for Tanvir and Avi.
Yeah.
Me and Asif struggled to get this to work um,
Mm-hmm.
for my client Andrew Cove for a long time. He's another attorney, and
Yeah.
we did get it to work with 365. I'm gonna go back to your screen, Tanvir. Can you go into her high level, and show me the calendar setup? I want to make sure that we have to
I
select.
can share
Did you select the appointment type to create when for the two-way sync?
for the connection. Here.
Here we go. That looks like maybe the issue. It's only on one way.
Um, oh,
There you go. That'll probably fix the problem.
I think we have done that earlier, but it was changed.
Okay.
I don't know.
Um,
Let me just check again.
I don't know if it works retroactively. I don't think it does.
Uh,
Yes, thank you.
nope,
Let's have her
it's
do it one
not
more
showing
time.
up.
But what about in Zapier? Did the custom field work? Did you set it up to automatically set the custom field to true or yes?
Tanvir.
Yeah, I've looked into the Zapier end for updating the custom fields. I'm not seeing the custom field she created here.
Okay. Um, so in the new lead she just created, you don't see the custom. Well,
Mhm.
The
she didn't.
custom fields on my case are more like for those intake things. It's not really for like intake forms and stuff like that. So I don't think that's gonna help.
Um, I think that's the same thing we use them for in high level, like for forms to add custom questions. What we were hoping is that if we only turned it on for new leads, when we get those 6 contact IDs, that we can see which one of them has that custom field. And when we pull a contact, it usually shows all of the fields. But what I'm wondering, Tanvir, is did she maybe it doesn't show up unless the value is set to yes or no? Should we have her change the value to yes for a new contact and create an appointment? So then we can test the two-way sync and see if that made it show up in Zapier.
Yeah, that would do.
All right. So Victoria, I'm gonna need you to create another lead. This time we're gonna set the custom field to true and or yes and book an appointment. And I think we fixed the calendar sync as well. Thank you for your
Victor,
patience.
Victoria, can you book another appointment once again?
Yeah. Can you hear me, Victoria?
Yes.
Okay.
You want me to create a new appointment, right?
But first,
Yeah.
you need to set the custom field to yes. So don't do that until you've
Okay,
done.
how do I do that then? I don't know.
Go to create the new lead.
That's what I was doing. Okay.
And yep, that's fine. You can just use Rob at eason.org or whatever. It doesn't matter. You can skip that. Probably, maybe not. So you see
I need to have those two in order to move on.
okay.
And
You
then
see,
under
oh,
custom field,
I think it's custom field for lead up there. It's higher. Oh,
sorry. Where?
it's right under the lead details. So go up just a little bit. Custom field, there it is. So high level transfer should be down at the bottom. It's probably, it might be the last one. Or it might be up there with the H's. I would do Control F and search high level. Hit enter. Oh,
No,
shoot.
it shows only one.
All right. We did save that new custom field, didn't we?
No, you told me to delete it.
Oh, no, we wanted to save that. So let's X out of this and create that custom field and go
Uh,
back. Did you
I
guys
guess
ask
we
for
have I guess we have deleted the workflow, not the
Oh, the
custom build.
workflow. Okay.
Okay. So should we I don't know why it wouldn't be showing up right there. Hits. Yeah, I guess
Maybe
let's
I
double check.
refresh.
Now search high level with Control F. Mm.
Yep.
There it is.
High level transfer.
So it has
Okay.
it has a space after high. So now let's do
Yeah.
a new lead again and try that one more time. Oh, and look, she created it as a custom field for the case, not for the contact. So that's why we got to do it for the contact. At the very top, you see, yep.
Oh,
Oh, is that?
So high level again, same thing, yeah. Yes, no. All right. Now let's do this.
good catch.
I could have saved this a lot of time right there. Mm. Here we go. Come on. Control F again, probably. Oh, you don't need to do that field. Just hit search. Yeah. Boom. Switch it
Okay.
to toggle it. Click the button. And you can also move this to the very top so you can see it easily when you're doing this in the future. But now book an appointment after you create the lead.
Mhm. Can you go to your Outlook once again and check? Give it refresh. Um,
All right.
I don't see it yet.
Yeah, it probably just takes a second.
Oh, because it goes back to hers. Okay.
There it
Okay.
is. All right. Now let's see if the two-way sync worked.
yeah, let me check. What time is that?
That is for noon, right? Or no?
1.
1. And we did the 15-minute calendar this time, it looks like.
Not still showing up.
We'll check Zapier and see if we can at least tell which contact it is in there. And it might take a second for it to register through.
I didn't forget. I'm still working. I'll take you. I'll give you. Are you getting hungry? I said it's stairs. Do not touch my phone. Do not touch my phone. You may have finished 4 lessons, but you misbehaved today and you're not getting the privilege. You better not break my glasses. I'm not taking it. Break my glasses. Mom, I just want to go downstairs. No, you're gonna stay here. I agree. Well, you're gonna. I'm not. No. No. Tell me chicken nuggets.
Tanvir, can you share your screen or whoever's working on it?
We have food. Pizza. No pizza either. Pizza. All right. So play a little bit more in the in your room, and I'm almost
Avi,
done.
did you get the appointment?
No snack right now, please.
No, I'm still refreshing.
Tanvir, if you're looking in Zapier, can you share your screen there? I'm
Yeah.
curious to know if we're able to identify which contact ID it is.
Yeah. Under.
What's that song? Right. What we have talked about, you putting stuff that are not food in your mouth.
In the update person, here's custom fields. And I cannot find the field that he created.
When he figures out what this does.
There you go.
Can I try it?
It's a
High level transfer.
no, it's GHL. But it might be for a lead and not a person. I don't know if there is a difference, I think.
There's only
Pass it.
update case, company, or person.
Scroll back up. Create lead. Okay. All right, so I do think a lead is all three. Um,
Mhm. And
so wait,
I'm not
aren't we
sure.
trying? We're just trying to let's just look at the one that she just put through
Hmm.
and see what contacts show up on the event and see if we can find it in one of the contacts. Can we do it that way?
Uh, yeah, for the event she created now.
Yeah.
Team the old one.
Also, if we go for the event trigger and find new records, there's no new event found.
Why the heck wouldn't it be passing these events? Well, what the heck?
We're still getting those three outputs, but no new records yet.
Can you guys? I have no idea why we wouldn't be seeing this. Um, should we?
Let me check if it's feasible and make.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing to check. Does Make have a MyCase integration?
Uh, should have. Like
Okay.
Zapier has an app, so
Mm. Yeah, it does. All right, this is definitely the next best thing to try. Good catch. I thought it didn't have a Make.
we still have the past credits left, so we can try more.
All right. Victoria, we've got another so there's different integration tools. We tried Zapier first and it's really doing a bad job. So we're gonna see Make. It's usually a little more sophisticated. And we're gonna need you to log in. Um, but we can give her screen control or something to do that to connect the two. It's one word. Yeah. First one at the top.
Mhm.
Community.
Oh, I have to connect it first, I think.
Install. Yeah, install right there. Oh man, you gotta pay for something to use it.
Not sure.
Let's see if there's. Let me go back to my search. No credit card required, no time limit on free plan. So I'll make an account real quick.
Let me create a dummy account.
I just made one for support at massmarket.ai.
All right.
And that's what we had the make account on anyway, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm having a hard time logging in for some reason. Do you know the password for make?
It should be saved on support. Let me get that.
Okay.
I dropped it in Discord.
Oh, you already got it? Okay.
Yep.
So we're probably gonna need to, should we just test the event one first? Looks
Figures.
like there's a lot more options, huh?
Um, I have
Well,
only one trigger. Watch events.
well, maybe we end up using both of them.
I think she have to connect her account here.
Can you send her that link to sign in? It looks maybe not. Oh, you have to contact support to do this, it looks like. No, that's for issues.
We need her client ID,
Yep.
client secret, and API key.
For current, please reach out to my case support. Okay. It looks like we have to reach out to support to get the stuff we need to integrate this year, Victoria. So we're gonna need you to ask them for this information. Can you take a screenshot of what we need here for her to provide along with that?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
And we'll give her all the links too. We should send him text as well and email. All right. Did you send that over to Victoria in the chat or how'd you send it to her, guys?
I took a screenshot.
Okay. All right. And so you just need to give that to support, and then they'll give us what we need, and then we can try this. Um, if that doesn't work, then we'll just have to use your pipeline stages, and we wouldn't be able to send event reminders from high level, but we could still do everything else.
Well, what do you mean by everything was the automations?
Yeah, like your long-term nurtures and the other automations besides your appointment reminders.
Oh, but that's not something I'm like, then why would I go high level and not just MailChimp?
So MailChimp, I mean, it depends on how the Go High Level does a lot more than MailChimp. Is sending emails the only thing you want to use for high level?
No, I wanted what I mentioned to you I wanted, and if that's not the case, then I don't really need all that extra expenses and everything else. It was my understanding that you can guys do that.
Right. There was the Zapier flow. There's an issue with the API for Zapier where it's giving us 6 contacts, right? And so,
Well, what is the issue is somehow you're pulling a client that it shouldn't be pulled out who does have 6 contacts in it,
okay,
but it's a closed case and I don't know why.
right. So we have to fix that. And there's different ways we can fix that. Um, the first one we should try here is getting the connection to Make and see if that works. We can put in a support with Zapier help to mention the issue. Um, I'm not sure if we should put in the support ticket for Zapier or for Zapier and my case. What do you think, guys?
Mhm. Um,
We should probably write up tickets for every single
yeah.
channel and then have her submit hers to my case and we can submit ours to Zapier. So there are 2 tickets she needs to submit to my case, one for this and one for the issue with Zapier. And hopefully between that, and we should also put one in about the two-way sync between Outlook. Can you verify that that appointment is still not showing up?
Yeah, it's still not showing up.
Okay. And your call forwarding should already be working to book appointments, but we need to sync that up with my case. So hopefully we can get this figured out soon. And
Also, I have fixed the voice bot booking slot system, as Victoria mentioned yesterday. For one slot, let's say one slot on 11 a.m. and another one on 3 p.m. So two
okay.
slots per day.
Okay. So Victoria, we're gonna send you an email with 2 different tickets to submit to my case, and we're gonna submit one to Zapier and Go High Level, and hopefully that turns out a way for us to fix the issue that is on Zapier and my case side.
Mhm.
So we'll send that to you here in just a moment. I've got to jump to my next meeting, and I think we've exhausted everything that we can do until we get those credentials from Make. And I would bet that the Make option, I think that's our most likely to succeed here. Um, so that one we should be able to get an answer from. I expect them to give us that answer quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if they're pretty slow on the other answers. So I'm hoping that works, and I will find us a way to make this work. Victoria, we just gotta try one thing at a time. Or we're trying way more than one thing at a time, but we've got a good batch of things to try here. Make sense?
Yeah, are you gonna send me an email with
Yeah.
that? Okay,
My
sounds
team's gonna send you an email with clearly like exactly what to submit for both issues, and then we're gonna handle it on the Go High Level and the Zapier side.
all right. Sounds good.
All right, guys, are we good to go? Can you get that email over to her shortly?
Sure.
All right. Thank you, fellas. Thank you,
All right.
Victoria. Hope your
Thanks.
day
Bye.
turns a little better.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon.